everyone, and welcome back to PSGL 4, the finale round of the PC F2 Championship. I'm just trying to sort Josh's camera out because it isn't there, and now it is. There we are. So, hello everyone, welcome back. And it's the finale, Josh, the final round. And, surprisingly, we have a championship battle between Yannick Schmidt and Drake Dempsey.
Yeah, we weren't expecting this at all. So it's a nice surprise that Drake can't just run away with it. We've still got a fight for the title with half the drivers leaving for the challenges. We've got a run. So I'm very, very happy about that. Also happy it's the last one on F1 22, as many people are with the issues it's had. F1 23, now we weren't expecting much, but from what we've been told, it seems to be a massive improvement.
Yeah.
So roll on F1 23. Let's get F1 22 out the way. But let's have a good race here in Interlagos and crown ourselves a champion.
Well, it's Brazil. And I think, no matter how many times we're at Brazil, there is always great racing. So I think we should have a brilliant race. Obviously, looking at the total permutations on my phone, so Yannick Schmidt needs to win with the fastest lap, so 17 points. And Drake would need to finish 6th with the fastest lap, or 7th without it. No,
yeah, so
6th with it, 5th without it. That's it.
Drake's got it.
And then Yannick, if he was to win without the fastest lap, then Drake would need to finish 6th with no fastest lap, or 7th with the fastest lap. Then, if Drake was to finish 4th or higher, doesn't matter what Yannick can do, he can't win it. And then, if Drake scores no points, Yannick needs to either be 2nd with the fastest lap to be ahead by 1 point, or he needs to be 1st without the fastest lap, and he'll be about 4 points ahead. So, realistically, Drake needs to be in that top 7, top 6 to have a chance. And the thing is, Yannick's had a great run. He got the win, took 17 points home in round 9. Round 10, he took 16. So Yannick's on a great form so far. So it's going to take a lot, I think, for Drake to try and push past it.
Yeah, and I think we've got a battle of wits now in terms of who can qualify the best and who can defend the best in Interlagos, because qualifying does play a big factor in it. We're just waiting for the lobby to come in. I think Harlem is now in the lobby, so I'm going to join that now as well to see and get ready. But it's a battle of wills to see who's going to be fastest in qualifying, and then we'll set the race there, and we'll give you the title permutations throughout the commentary as well. So really, we are in for basically whoever's the fastest can get it, and then we've got to have mathematicians ready for it as well. So all over the
Oh. You're back. Josh, you disappeared for a second. Your voice went. You here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
You've swapped mic.
Oh, have I? Oh,
yes.
Dear. Okay.
But while we let Josh sort that out...
Something else.
Yeah, while we let Josh sort that out, we'll have a look at the track quickly.
Let's take a look at the Autodromo Juan Carlos Palace as well. 2.667 miles, 71 laps ahead of us as well. 15 corners. In the dry, it's challenging. In the wet, it's unbelievable. This is a fantastic race. It's important to get a good run out the last corner then as you run uphill towards turn number 1 and 2, the center S. Hard on the brakes then, flick to the left, downhill, back on the accelerator as you come round the Curva de Sol, a long sweeping left-hander, down the back straight then towards Decina de Lago as well. You've got open up your DRS, slam on the brakes about 50 metres to go, flick the car into turn 4, use the exit curb a lot, and then flat out up the hill as well towards Ferradora, 6th gear corner for turn number 6. Flick the car in towards the right, uphill section of the track, double apex as well, before you come into the Super de boxes. Flew in now, keep it calm, round the oranges turn as well at turn 9 as well. Turn 10 as well, a little bit tricky to get right on the brakes as well, as you have to slam down all the way 2nd gear. Into Magula then as well, as you drop downhill dramatically towards Juncao as well. Up through 7th gear, drop down to 4th gear, flick the car in again to the left, and then back up now towards the last corner. You're flat out rising 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear as well, flat out with the DRS open as you come across the line. In the old days you used to cut across the pit lane entrance, now not needed to, and that is a lap of Interlagos.
So there we are, everyone. That was the track video. Thanks to Josh, as normal, for getting the edited videos out there with the lap attack. But we're going to jump straight to the driver standings, as we need to get through this quickly because I believe we're going to get started pretty shortly. And obviously Drake leads on 64 ahead of Jan and Yannick on 52. Jan is taking part in challenges, so obviously he isn't going to race, so he's got no mathematical chance of getting in, of winning. Yannick, as we talked about earlier, the top permutations, he has a chance to win it, and then everyone further down doesn't. I think we've got Millermeyer, he's racing. He's got a chance to possibly clinch second in the... clinch third in the championship ahead of Halliday. Obviously, if Yannick does finish ahead, so that would be great for him. Also, Camille, obviously going into Jeddah, he was part of this championship battle, but then obviously had that DNF with Drake, and that caused a big spark in things in the championship, and now Camille's out of it, and Drake's a lot more under pressure. Looking further down, we've had many drivers race here, and many of them have dropped out. I think a lot of it is due to the game itself. It's not as enjoyable. We're coming to the end of the game cycle. It always dies down at the end of a game cycle. So thanks to everyone who's been driving recently. We've got 17 in the lobby today. I think we're going to get about 19. But, fair play to all these drivers for still coming in to make the effort, even though a lot of them know, well, this game's bad and lots of issues are caused. But, hats off to them indeed.
Absolutely. And if we take a look at it as well, many people might be wondering, well, why is Daniel as well out of it? Because he is 17 points back. So if he wins the race with the fastest lap, he can only match what Drake Dempsey's got at the top of the standings. But because Drake Dempsey's won 2 races this year, on the countback, he's out the championship. So it is just one driver versus one to go for the title. It's going to be fantastic today. And qualifying is going to get underway shortly. I swapped over to the headset because it's just easier with a little bit of a mic disconnect problem. But honestly, I'm so much looking forward to today because anything is going to happen. We've got, 36 laps around this track. Weather is completely unknown and a short qualifying of 18 minutes. So it will be fun. 19 in the lobby. A good turnout for the last race on F1 22 in F2. So yeah, all thumbs up, Richie.
And having a look at the constructor standings, for some reason they haven't updated onto there because they're looking at Jeddah ones. Hang on, let's get them on here 1 second. I don't know why we look at the wrong ones.
Somebody just quickly change the photo from Jeddah to this, but I'll talk us through as well. But look at that. Look how close it is. Red Bull. Oh, no, that's still completely
there we got it. So, AlphaTauri lead, I think 17 points ahead of Red Bull. So, Red Bull have a chance, has to, but they've got to win. They've got to score 28 points, and Red Bull and AlphaTauri have got to score none. So, the chance of that is very highly unlikely. Mercedes and Ferrari drawn on 69 points, ahead of Aston Martin by 7. Then behind that, you've got Aston and McLaren fighting for 7th. They're 2 points apart, and then also Alfa Romeo and Alpine 33 to 32. So there's a battle for 7th to 10th, and there's a battle for 1st to technically 3rd, and a battle for 3rd to 6th. So many battles got in the constructors, but that won't be the main focus of today. The main focus will be on Drake and Yannick. And just having a little look in the chat before we get into the lobby. Cameron's dad's in here as normal. So hello, Jim. Welcome in as always. Charlie says, go on, Cameron. Hello, Cameron's dad. We've got Let's Go, Lillian and Jeremy. Let's Go, Vroom. Those are the teams that Lillian and Jeremy are part of. And then we've got Janik Besser, which I presume means Janik better in German or something. I don't know. And then a bit of... German, don't know German, and then some says Lillian from Vroom is the champion from F3 PC. Let's go and hope he performs on F2. But as we say that, we're actually going to go into the lobby because the qualifying begins in a very short amount of time. And Josh, we don't have to worry about having 11 drivers in. We've got 19 today.
Yeah, nice end to the finale. Everyone's going to be right there ready to go on a short qualifying session as well. So fingers crossed, this is going to be nice and quick. Just have a quick thing. We've been told the lobby's been up. We know we're in it. All set to go. And if you don't need the camera anymore, Richie, just turn it off so that limits bandwidth on both our sides. 20 seconds to fill. Well, what would you like me to tell you about this track in Interlagos? Originally, it was a lot bigger. It used to go in on itself where the inside section is at Casino de Larga, and it sort of got modified in the late 80s and got changed over. Oh, okay, never mind. That was a quick fill.
Bogdan has left, so he must have had an issue with his connection, and it's dry. Sunny here in Interlagos. But the question is it going to be sunny the whole time? Let's know in the chat quickly, if anyone's got engineers, if they know whether it will be dry in the race. Because it looks like it's going to be pretty much dry throughout the whole of qualifying, but it can all change in the race. Yeah. And it would be nice, obviously, in the next game, Josh, another thing, add it so the commentators can see the predicted weather.
Yes.
Oh, that would be
I'm
so helpful.
One thing I have heard is a possibility is that we're going to have like an F1 TV style intro to spectator
Yes.
mode.
Which would be
So
nice.
that's going to be fun.
And
Yeah, I'll have to get our scripts out as well and get them all sorted that way. But all going to be good then. Qualifying is underway. A single 18-minute session there for the final time in season 33. And first out on the track is going to be Jeremy. Lillian goes out there too. One more with Harlan Marquez. He's heading out, but now it's Jeremy P8 out there too in the Alfa Romeo. And it looks, as you say, completely dry. There's a few clouds in the air, but I don't think it's going to rain. It looks like we're going to have some interesting sessions out there. And let's see what these times can bring. We're expecting about a 1:11, maybe a 1:12 as the lowest time we'll see. So expect them to see at the start right about a 1:13, maybe a 1:14, Richie.
Well, it's completely different to IRL. Around here, if you're doing a 1:11, you are 6 seconds slower than me. You should be at least in a 1:06 or a 1:07.
We're going to go even faster than a Formula 1 car.
Yeah. Well, you can use lots of exploits, and the cars themselves aren't as realistic as Formula 1 cars. But watching Jeremy,
that's one big thing. That's not going to be an F1 23 anyway. We're more realistic now.
Well, that's what they said in the intro, yeah. Not in the intro, I mean in the gameplay video. But Jeremy is beginning a lap now, heading through out of turn 2, down towards turn 4 with the DRS. Obviously, Jeremy not scoring the most points this season, which is a shame. And it'd be nice if we can get some good points on the board for him tonight as he comes through into turn 4 now. Be very careful riding the curbs on the exit. This track, you've got to make sure you can ride lots of curbs, so very high right height. You've also got to be careful though, because it can be very easy to spin on some of these curves. As now he goes into the braking zone for the middle of this second sector. Very difficult part of the track, isn't it, Josh? Here, very easy to lose the rear.
Yeah. Yes, and it's partly because it's a banked section of the track, these corners. So it's two separate parts of the tarmac that the front and rear tyre are connecting to, and often there's a bump and it just sends you out wide into Juncal then as they come through uphill through the Subaru boxes, which is literally the entrance to the pit lane as a translation. And Jeremy's first time is going to be on the board. 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be a 7 across the board. 107, 137. Miles faster than what we've got in the Formula 1, by the way. So esports definitely win there in terms of faster lap times.
Definitely. And Harlem's also on a lap time. He's going up to the Lords of Line. Camel, 107.3. Harlem, where does he go? Goes into provisional P2 with a 3.28. Milan Mayer is also on a time. And Komsky, the first to enter the 0.9s. The 6.9 is great there from Simon. And Drake Dempsey puts himself into third. The one I want to watch is Yannick Schmidt, who's coming through in toward, well, then they're at a Prosser, in towards the Casino de Lago now, into turn 4. He's the main one we need to watch now. Obviously, Drake's on a 7.2, just being beaten there by Gertzap. So Jeremy's actually set a great time, hasn't he? 107.1, ahead of Drake and Harlem, and we haven't seen Jeremy ahead of these much at all this season. That's great to see from Jeremy. But Yannick needs to get himself ahead of Drake by a mile, really, doesn't he?
Does indeed. So this needs to be the perfect middle sector, and it's made a mistake. Yannick just gets the rear snapped out at the exit as soon as he hit the power. Got to get it through Magullo and then downhill into Juncal, down all the way, 4th gear, control the exit speed. 170, 190, 200 already on KPH. Now he's going to fall up towards the line. Is this quicker than Drake Dempsey's time? He's got a tow as well from one of the Alpines. That's going to give him a little bit of extra time. Might put him ahead of Drake, and does, up to P4. 107, 193. Exactly where he needs to be, ahead of Drake, so he doesn't meet him on the run towards turn 1 for when the lights go out.
Yeah, very nice lap time there. And also Cameron Dade's up into P3 with a 170. I'm on board with his teammates, Przemek Hubach, is that how you say it, I think. He's coming through this middle sector now, heading in towards turn 11 now. And a 50.808 purple in that middle sector. 50.8 split, looking pretty decent for the McLaren driver as he comes through now. Out to turn 12, 13, heading up towards the line. It should be a pretty decent time. As he comes up, what will it be? It'll be 106. No, it'll be a 107.312. He puts him into P7. So the grid, well, you look at P7 all the way down to P12. That's a 10th. The grid's in pretty much its own little group, isn't it? You've got P1. That's Simon. He's a bit ahead of most people. You've got Jeremy, Cameron, and Yannick in their little group, and then you've got Leonard and Drake. Then you got P7. That's Przemek down to Tumas in P12. So everyone's in their own little groups, and it's something we kind of see a lot in qualifying, don't we, Josh? I've noticed over the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, we what 2x2s, then coming in, and then everyone's gonna go back into the pit lane for 5 minutes, and come back out as well. So I'm liking the format. They're quite on it. Although Jack Humphries in 16th position is out there on intermediate tyres,
Yeah.
and I'm not even kidding. He's out there on intermediates. He keeps losing lap times, but Jack Humphries on inters.
He's probably doing a little bit of testing for his equipment and stuff, and also to get himself a bit of a delta. Jeremy's already on an out lap, getting ready to begin his second lap. So Jeremy getting straight out there, wanting to get as many lap times in as he can as he comes through the final couple of corners now, heading through up towards the line. And you say you come out the final couple of corners because you don't say you see it as a final corner, but you've got a good 10 seconds before you get to the start-finish straight. As he comes up now.
Jean Cattles really is quite before the end of the line. Into the centre S's. Go on, Richard.
Yep. Very nice lap so far. Into turn 1 and 2, the Ceresi, then the Curve de Sol as he comes down the rest of Raposta. Very nice so far from Jeremy. Obviously keeping it to the inside there as you come out of turn 2, and then you ride on the outside. You want to get a nice apex into turn 4. So the car in down to 5th, down to 4th actually for Jeremy. Then you want to ride the curb on the exit as you come out now through turn 5. Then next you've got turn 6 and 7 to handle. You want to shift down to 6th or 7th. Follow the car in, take as much curb as you can. Just eat the curb through there, which Jeremy does great. Now in towards turn 8. Very nice, very difficult in that braking zone. Then you come through into turn 10. You've got to pull the car round, use a bit of curb for rotation, then ride the curb on the exit. As you get, well, no, sorry, this is turn 10 as you come through into turn 10. Very nice there from Jeremy so far. Very clean. He's now come through into 11. Ooh, a bit of a snap though, so could lose him a bit of time. Is he up in that middle sector? He's by a 10th. So looking to try and take provisional pole position for Jeremy. As he now comes out of John Sow, heading down, sticking to the inside line as he comes up towards turns 13 and 14 to end his lap time. This should be very decent from Jeremy. What time does he set on the board? Will it be an improvement? Yes, it will, but it won't be enough to try and take pole from Lekomsky.
Amazing opening time then from Lemonski as well, a 106.950, proving the benchmarker. That has to be said, but Jeremy's pushing it all as well. Now let's see if Lemonski's improving. He's 18,000s down. Leonard Goetze now on a time coming down into Casino de Laga, uphill towards Primera. It's a lot of traffic though as he comes in towards turn 7, flicks the car in. As Richie said, hug the apex as well. One of my favourite segments of the track now as well. This slow infield section that makes you feel like you want to rip your own teeth out if you get it wrong as well. It's so slow compared to the rest of the lap. Into Magullo, keeps it nice and tidy. Now back on the exit. Middle sector time coming up as well. There's a lot of traffic in the second sector. It's causing yellows. Goetze's up by 61 thousandths as it gets it wrong and loops it round at the exit of Junção. He just got a wheel on the curb and it went round, and that was looking on to take out one of the Alphas there, and it's spot one of the Mercedes, I think, as well. And that's gonna be Humphries on his fast lap as well.
Yeah, and I'm watching Cameron Des as he's coming through in towards the Descida de Laga now. Camel Sasha going to P3, very nice. It would have been nice if we could do that last week in Jeddah to try and challenge for the title, but unfortunately can't do so today. Cameron Des coming through turn 6 and 7, shortly in towards turn 8. Very nice, sticking it in 4th. Many drivers going down to 3rd there, but Cameron taking it in 4th, obviously down to personal preference as he comes through out of turns 8 in towards 9 and 10 now. Obviously, Cameron at one point was championship leader after round 1 in Spain. We thought he's going to run for the championship, but unfortunately, his luck hasn't been as well, and possibly also his performance hasn't been as well as of recent. And actually, he goes purple in that middle sector, so he's doing great at the start of this qualifying session.
Proving you wrong, isn't he? I'll commentate at the end of that. Then I want to say something about Cameron as well as he comes towards the inside line. They hug that pit entrance line to keep the car as straight as possible. It's not actually the fastest line in real life, but it's the fastest line on the track. Cameron goes 3rd, 107.029, 14 thousandths off the pace of Jeremy. Yeah, well, don't forget, Cameron was involved in a car accident, wasn't he, as well, mid-season. That also kept him out for a few races and had problems as well with his legs. So amazing he was still racing. I think that was the big reason that his title challenge lost, because it was when he was involved in that car accident that the performance dropped as well. And he's finally back up now, I think, to full fitness and back into full action. And you're really seeing it. In the last 3 races, he's been pushing massively well. So I'm really hoping that next season, he in F2, he's going to make the run for the title. Drake Dempsey across the line. Does he improve from 7th only to P6?
Yannick Schmidt up to P2 with a 107.001. So very close to the 6s. So
Tycho Hardy has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane.
Oh, well, that's not ideal, is it? And there he is. He's out the pit lane, out the session. Yes. But Tycho's not in charge for the championship, so I don't think he's too bothered. Bogdan Moldvan's on a lap time now as he's coming through in the middle sets. But yeah, Jeremy been pretty outstanding, isn't he, compared to his normal
Yeah.
performance? He's sitting in provisional P3, ahead of Dowds. Drake, though, only improving to a 2.29. Yannick 2.5 tenths ahead. At the moment, this wouldn't be enough for Yannick to take it, but if Yannick was to get ahead of the comp scheme win, I think it'd be very close between these two.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. They're both in the same team. And I wonder if team orders might just play a little factor in that as well for Lemonski to help Yannick take the title.
Bogdan?
I think it would be, but Bogdan across the line to go improve it only to 11th. That's a disappointment as well for Bogdan. He's had a sort of a baptism of fire in F2 this season, isn't he?
Yes, it's a shame. You see him sometimes right at the top, then sometimes near enough at the bottom.
Yeah.
Do you know who he does remind me of a little bit? Valtteri Bottas.
Yes.
You know, sometimes
Actually,
it can do outstanding racing. You think, God, this is a a championship drive. But then other times you think, how's he so far down? And sometimes obviously it's due to luck and other outside factors. But it is a shame sometimes to see Bogdan down because obviously he won F4, which we obviously crowned him as champion. Then he got second in F3. And in F2, even though it's a pretty similar grid, it just seems he hasn't been on the paces, and all that could be due to not having as much practice, not being as motivated to play the game. All those come into factor, but it is a shame to not see him where he used to be.
I honestly think that the F1 22 game has been the most destructive for esport leagues as well. It's been a broken game. We haven't been able to run properly on it as well. Drivers were fed up with it, so they've retired from the season. Oops.
That was close. It's one of the Alpines. I think it might have been Harlem. No, it wasn't. It was the other Alpine. Thomas went off at turn 12, the exit of Junsei. Leonard come round, and I think he must have thought he nearly hit him because he had a big snap after he come out that corner. I think it scared him a bit. And Leonard enters the pit lane because he did invalidate in turn 12. So to put you off there, Josh, of course.
Yes, Lemonski's down by 11 thousandths in his first sector time, so not even he can improve. As a big improvement up for Lillian to go into P6 on a 107.110. Everyone now out there on the soft compound tyre as well, but Jeremy's in P3. He's lost out on his lap time and will come into the pit lane as well. Lemonski, however, is pushing. There you just saw the 11 thousandths of a different when Richie swapped to his camera. Anna Magullo, and what is the second sector time? Is he faster? No, he's only 18 thousandths off his own time, so he'll still go fastest overall because Yannick can only do a 107.001, and Lemonski's time's a 106.950 as well. Yeah, that's why it was off
Harlem
the
up
pace
to P6. Great lap time there from Harlem Marquis.
Thought that was who flashed up on the monitor. I wanted to double check, but yeah, Harlem up to P6, 107.104. Now we're into the final 5 minutes of this qualifying session, and now we're going to see the last lap showdown coming up shortly. Yep. And out now of the pit lane comes one of the Red Bulls.
Look at the qualifying. Second for Yannick Schmidt, 10th and 9th for Drake Dempsey. If Yannick was to win this now, Yannick would be crowned champion. Daniel Hjelsen into P8 now. That pushes Drake Dempsey into 10th. Now, if Drake was to finish outside the top 10, which is very close to when Yannick was to win with the fastest lap, or get second with the fastest lap, the possibility's there for Yannick. So Drake's got to get a really good lap in on this final lap if he wants to still be safe for this championship. If he finishes top 5, it should be pretty decent, but starting down in 10th as a championship leader is not what you want at all. And Przemek wasn't on that, but he let off. He's now heading back into the pit lane, so we'll have to rush in, get a new set of tyres and get back out. But Jeremy, he was up by 21 thousandths in the middle sector, invalidated. So he's done what? He's done 2 runs and attempted a third already. So Jeremy's been, proper on the ball, getting out there as quick as he can. And hopefully, if he's gone for the softer tyre allocation, he does have 4 sets to use. If he only went for balanced or harder, he only has 3. So Jeremy might have already used all 3 sets. If he's on the softer allocation, then he might have still got 1 set left to use. So Jeremy's got to get back out there very quickly, and Leonard Gert's about to begin a lap.
Yeah, and one thing as well with that is the clouds start to come over. The track temperature is going to be a bit lower, which means the softer tyres are going to work really faster. So the best times are coming. So that's why we're seeing everybody still in the pit lane. It's a short outlap here, 2 minutes, then to cross the line. So I would say we'll see drivers leaving in the next 45 seconds out the pit lane. But another thing to point out, as Leonard Gertz is 1,000th of a second faster at the moment, the important thing to point out, Richie, as well, is that with the race, we're going to see everyone start on the hard compound tyre, then switch over to mediums about halfway. That's what we've been seeing. So these soft tyres are probably going to get burned up only in qualifying, which means everyone has got everything to push in this session. nothing is going to be held back. This is going to be some bonsai laps, and then the race. Well, they've got what, 2 sets of mediums and 1 set of hards. Perfect for to get through.
Well,
if there's a late safety car.
You come to the final parts of qualifying, and you always see people pushing. Leonard Gertz there up by 1/10 and a half. So this is looking good for a possible P5, P6, if obviously provisionally. And we see now as he comes up towards the line. Leonard, he knows one of them. He's either doing great lap times or he's not, and he goes up to P2 with a 6.9. Great lap time there from Gertz. So we're onto the provisional front row, and that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes he can do some really outstanding laps, and others he can't. And that's not. I'm just being real. I don't mean that in a mean way. And
no, it's not that. I've just realised Leonard Gertz in a Red Bull, whose teammates with Jake Dempsey in a Red Bull, has just split the 2 AlphaTauris who are going for the title, with Yannick Schmidt starting in 3rd. Yeah, that's it. We've got a real fight on our hands at turn 1. Leonard Gertz should literally cause Yannick Schmidt a lot of headaches now.
I doubt he would, because I don't think Leonard and Drake are in contact that much. So I think really it's one. It's one for all. I think for those guys, but we don't know. We don't know what type of plans they have in the background. But looking at the qualifying grid so far, first to 7th.
Yannick's made a mistake on his lap time. He has had a horrible first sector. He's 33 thousandths on his own time, but he was upshifting too much as well. So I think Yannick might have a little bit of an issue with his lap time. We'll keep an eye on him, though, with less than 60 seconds to go in the session.
Yep, and on board with Drake Dempsey at the moment as he's coming through in towards turn 1. Now the Tenor S is trying to get himself back into that top 10. Starting 11th isn't where you want to be at all.
Oh, no, Yannick's got a lot of traffic, Richie. I mean, cars everywhere for traffic in that middle sector. His lap time is going. So this is Drake Dempsey with a clear track in front of him. An opportunity to go through. Yannick's going to have to do another push lap after this. He's up by 94 thousandths. It might just be enough. His time was a 107.001.
Lillian, up into the top 3.
Here comes Yannick Schmidt though towards the line. Does he improve on his time? That's the question. He's 4th at the moment. That's back in the 2nd row. Across the line, he takes pole. 106.906. Is it faster? That's the question. Here comes Drake Dempsey. He's now hitting that traffic. He's up by 16 thousandths. Lemonsky's retired from the session. He doesn't want to interfere with a title run. But here comes Drake. 78 thousandths of a second faster.
Yep, he's coming through up towards the line, 78,000. That's still not good enough for a top 5. So Drake's going to put everything into this final corner as he comes up towards the line. Where does he go? He will take P7. That is terrible for the championship fight for Drake Dempsey. There's still people out on laps on board now with Harlan Marcus, who just about crossed the line before the timer ticked down to 0, and he's now beginning. He's already invalidated down at turn 2, so he can't improve. Daniel Kjelson's down by 10 thousandths in the first sector. He's coming now down in towards turns 10 and 11. We'll see what he can do in the middle. Jeremy, he's currently sitting P5. Gertz finishes provisional 3rd. Is Yeltsin up? He's by 34 thousandths. This could be really terrible for Drake because many drivers behind on lap times. Officers retired from the session. Legend finishes 14th. Drac finishes in 17th. Doesn't improve on his 10.7. Where can Daniel Yeltsin go though as he comes up towards the line now? It will be P7 pushes straight down to 8th now. Hubatch, he's coming through in towards the end of this middle sector now. Is he on an improvement on his lap time? I'm not sure if he is. No, he's not. He's 5 seconds down.
Cameron's got an improvement. He's coming out towards the line as well. He's already ahead of Drake, but could it be front row? No. Cameron boxes, decides against it. Harlan Marquez, we know, is backed at the lap. I'm looking at Bogdan Moldovan. What can he do? He's got McLaren right in his way of Premac as well, and they're both coming into the pit lane. That's it. Yannick Schmidt has done the thing he needed to do. It starts on pole position, and Drake is in a horrible position for the title.
And if I work my calculations out correctly, if it finishes like this, Yannick Schmidt is champion. In a massive turn of events, Yannick would take the championship. So it's getting... See, in terms of Drake's view, he doesn't want to be an 8th, but in terms of entertainment view, this is absolutely amazing. Because now this is down to the wire. And I'm going to quickly get them up on my phone again because I think Drake is 1 position out. So, yes, if Yannick was to win this, Drake needs to be 7th with the fastest lap. If Yannick wins, at least. So Drake's, no matter what, has got to make positions. He's either going to finish 6th without the fastest lap or 7th with it. Chances are, when you're fighting the midfield, you're not going to take the fastest lap. It's normally someone right at the back or someone at the front. So, Drake realistically wants to be 6th. So he needs to get ahead of Hjelsson and Dowds. They're pretty quick drivers. And to get through on Hjelsson and Dowds, you have to take a lot of risk. So, this is going to be a great race. And there we are. The qualifying session has concluded, and Yannick Schmidt takes pole for the final round, and he's hunting for the championship. So this is perfect. Lekomsky only set 1 lap time and stays P2, so he did excellent in qualifying there. Obviously not in his final runs, but he did in his first. Then Goetze starts 3rd, followed by Lillian in 4th, Jeremy in 5th, Cameron Dowd 6th, Yelton in 7th, Drake Dempsey, the championship leader, starting 8th, ahead of Kamil Sasha and Mila May, who take it the top 10. Then we have Haaland, Przemek, Bogdan, Tumas, Legend, Oscar, Jack, Modesto, and Tycho, 11th down to 19th. And I have to rush through the names, otherwise you're not going to get in time, are you? So you're going to rush all the... That's the one thing I don't like as well. There's no way you can really look back at the qualifying grid, can you? You've got to like rush through the start, and it's dry. Which I suppose is a good thing. We get DRS, we get more overtaking. This should be epic, I think
One
is the
final
word to
time,
call
then.
it.
2 questions to you, Richie, then 4 lights out. Who's going to win the race? Who's going to win the championship?
Win the race, Yannick Schmidt. Win the championship, Yannick Schmidt. I've got to change it up now a bit. I think it looks too favoured at Yannick for the moment. Obviously, it can all change, but at the moment, it looks like it's definitely going the way of him. And I've seen him race here before, and he's excellent at this track.
Listen here, youngster. I remember the days of Formula One where Bonsai in Brazil finales, doesn't matter how far away you're back, you're going to win the title.
Well, Felipe Massa would unfortunately know about that.
Lewis Hamilton would agree with me, though.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to win the
true.
race. Right. Here we go then, folks, for one more time on F1 2022. Turn the volume up and you know what to do. We've gone through 3 seasons on this game. It's time to put it to bed. Who's going to be champion today as we leave the grid in Sao Paulo? Good start from Yannick Schmidt. And predictably, Lemonski's going to back up. Look at Drake Dempsey already trying to go to the inside of the McLaren. It's Yannick leading into turn 1. Drake's already down into 9th position. That's just Lillian down. Lillian's gone right to the back. Tycho Hardy as well. Cameron down into 5th position. Drake now back into 8th. Thought that was almost going to be a Sebastian Vettel style situation as well. Drake trying to go in the middle of the pack as well. Try and get Renumas. Not going to work out. Off the back. That's Cameron with Camille in a battle. But Drake Dempsey, 8th at the moment. Not the start he wanted. The two Mercedes right to the back. And Lillian 2, 4 seconds back. They've just passed through at the back of the circuit. But now Moldovan's up into 12th, battling with Yamanen. Wow, this is a fantastic start, Richie.
It is, and I'm watching Bogdan and Yamanen fighting now, coming through towards turn 9 10. Big snap for Bogdan, but they still keep it clean going through. Inside line for Tumas, outside line for Bogdan. They push each other nearly off track there as we come through, and this time Bogdan's got the inside line, so this is key. Also, that's a spin round, I believe, for Lillian and Jack Humphries. They had a battle down at turn 10, and also Bogdan the inside again. These two, and Bogdan's round! He's lost it, bit of contact, bit of loss of grip, and they've just gone round down at turn 12. And also, we've got the 2 Ferraris, Legend and Oscar Villacampa. They're fighting for 13th place as we go through. And Yannick Schmidt takes the lead and keeps the lead on lap 1.
Modesto Miller coming on the inside as well in that Mercedes to split the 2 Ferraris up, coming into the center S. Nice move, gets ahead of Oscar Villacampa. Drake is now in 8th position. He's 2 tenths back to Daniel Jensen, but can't do anything at the moment. Got a yellow flag in the 3rd sector. Not sure why. There's no cars in that part of the track. Either way, we're green now.
Yeah.
Okay, looking back, Drake Dempsey still in 8th position and still 2 tenths back on where we need to be.
And at the moment, everyone has started on the hard tyres. So
Yeah,
no
that's what
one
we
goes
thought
for the
we thought.
alternate strategy. So it's going to pretty much be plain sailing until the pit stop in this race. I think we'll see a few position changes, but after around lap 4 or 5, I think until the pit stops happen, there won't be much going on. And I'm currently watching Kamil Sasha, who's actually looking to try and get through on Cameron Dowd. He's getting a bit close, but just not close enough to make any sort of opportunity for an overtake. Looking further, Jeremy, great start, sitting 4th at the moment, ahead of Goetze. Goetze just sitting behind Lekomsky, pretty much the same gap that Simon's got to Yannick, but currently looking pretty safe for Yannick to win this at the moment. Yannick would win the championship. Drake needs to be in 6th or 7th.
Fastest lap time for Yannick Schmidt, exactly what he needed. That's 17 points on the board, and the DRS is enabled to 110.525. Jack Humphries immediately takes it, though, in the Mercedes with a 110.207. Not what Yannick Schmidt wanted. He needed that fastest lap. We'll have to do that now later on in the race. Meantime, at the front, we're in the battle for 10th position. Milan Meyer trying to attack Primes as well and keep Harlan Marquez behind him, as it's not going to work out just yet. Meantime, Drake Dempsey, check. He's now in 8th position, but with the DRS, Rich, he's going to start making those positions ASAP. And look, that's already, he's on the back of Jensen as well.
Yep, and I think the issue is it's going to be difficult for Drake now because everyone's in this train. Drake will have to try something different when it comes to pit stops, maybe pitting a lap early or a lap late, because if you're stuck in this train, he's going to get nowhere at all. It's like what we saw with Hamilton in Imola 2022. Once you're stuck in that train, no matter how quick you are, you can't get out of it. And it's a track, and when it's a track like this, it's so incredibly hard to get out of this DRS train. Actually looking at Milan Maya, bad exit out of turn 12 for Przemek. Milan's looking to open move, and you can see Milan gets within a 10th, but then just can't make a move at all. So it's very difficult once you're in this train, and no matter what happens, it's just so difficult to make something work. Daniel's gaining a bit on Camille. He'll gain to about 2.5 tenths, but then probably lose it. He won't get enough in towards turn 4, I don't think. There you go, into turn 4, just not close enough, so you're stuck behind each other. When the pit stops happen, however, that's when things change, because everyone's on, well, most people are on different laps old tyres, some older, some younger tyres. And, oh, that's a spin, that's Modesto Maynard down at the exit of turn 5.
Again! Second spin of the session there from Modesto Maynard. That puts Bogdan Moldovan back into contention with 18th position. Now, the DRS has been activated, but this is what we see week after week in the current F1 game as well, especially here in F2, is the fact is that we have not got any alternate strategy. So they're all on the same tyres, they're all on the same pit stop strategy, so it becomes a train, effectively. So life imitates art, I suppose, Richie, because it's exactly what happened in Miami.
Well, very similar to what happened in Miami, yeah, indeed. And Milan Mayer actually this time looking to try and gain on Przemek, but just can't. It's very odd. He gets within a 10.5 going up in towards turn 13, 14, but then he loses about a 10th going down the start-finish straight. So that could also be due to, I suppose, wing setups as well. Obviously, he's probably got higher wing setup, hence why he's not as quick in a straight line. I'm going to get the lap data and telemetry on as well as we come through in towards turn 4. And Yeltsin keeps getting close to the back of Stacherat, but not able to do anything. And Drake's just, I think, just sitting comfortable where he is now. He doesn't want to push too much. He doesn't want to use all the tyres, have high tyre wear, and then have to fight back heavily from people behind. I think he's fine sitting where he is. Let his ERS sit where he's on 65% ERS. Actually, he's used quite a lot compared to others. But try and at least save some ERS. Stick in the trainer DRS and just take it to the pit stops. Because obviously, once you pit, most people, well, quite a few people will pit on different laps. Some will pit a lap before, 2 laps before, 2 laps later, 3 laps later. So that's when the actual effects of being able to overtake comes in, when you got different tyres. So I think for now, nothing drastic is going to change unless there's an incident. But then when we get to the pit stop phase, that's when everything gets thrown up in the air. And we could see someone in P10 pit a lap earlier.
Sorry to interrupt you. Daniel Jensen on the inside of Camille Satcher into turn 1. He's made the move, but the Haas driver going to fight back as well. Daniel is up into 6th position. Camille's going to go right round the outside. And the curb of the soul down the retroposter. Cuts back in with the DRS attack, but can't get through. Jensen up into 6th position. And this is more important stuff for Yannick Smith because Drake is getting less and less at the toe, so he can't keep up there with the front battle, which is costing him time and money.
Yeah, very nice there. Well, I don't know if it's costing him money, but it's costing him time for sure. And Camille, basically riding...
Championship, I remember, on the line. Get a bit of cash for the championship, don't he?
No, not this season.
Oh, we ran out of...
Well, I suppose you could put it that way. And actually, Drake's gained a bit on the back of Camel there. Camel lost. I'll go for that middle sector on the back of Daniel. Looking further up. Jeremy is looking to eye up a little bit on the back of Leonard Goetzer. Leonard's made a mistake because he's 8 tenths back. Is this an opportunity for an overtake for Jeremy? Obviously, not scoring many points at all this season, not getting close to a podium this season. Is it a possibility for now? It won't be as they go into turn 1, but more opportunities will arise. Yannick and Simon getting a bit close, but they're not going to bother battling too hard for anything at the moment because there's no need to. Drake gets through on Camille. And Camille's... Oh, Drake gets through 2 of them. Perfect there from Dempsey.
I don't believe it, but he's going to be under attack immediately from Camille as well, and from Jensen. Jensen on the inside. They're making contact. Wheel-to-wheel stuff. And now Drake's on the outside. Gets forced wide. Daniel Jensen back on. But now, here comes Camille too, with the run-out towards Primera. I tell you what, and he's gone through. He's forced out the way. Drake had some opportunistic moves. He's going to dive bomb the inside of Camille. He's got to think about the championship. He was back in a position. He only needs P6. That's all you need if Yannick doesn't get the fastest lap. So just stay there and you've got it.
But that was a clean but intense battle there. And Camel, that move up the inside, phenomenal there. But last time we saw Drake and Camel get together, it didn't exactly end as planned. So we've got to hope it doesn't happen again, because that was very close.
Yeah.
It was very close to it being 3 cars DNF'd. Let's just say it that way. Jeremy, yet again, gaining the back on Leonard.
And one of the Alpines further back was in a little bit of position. That was Harlan Marquez as Lillian gets ahead of Oscar Villacampa further back. Right, take 2 for Drake Dempsey. He's going to have the DRS, and he's immediately on the back of Kimil Satra down towards the braking zone. Can he get through? He's going to go for a late move. Can't get through. Backs out of it. Thought about a little luck. Not going to work out, but look at that. Jensen's got ahead by 7/10. Laminin now with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But up to Primera we go. We're running out of opportunities to overtake on this lap. We're on lap 8 of 36. That's 1/4 of the Grand Prix complete. And they are still pushing. And Drake needs to get, ideally, I would say, Richie, into P5 before considering the pit stops.
Yes, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think at the moment it's more, right, let's try and undercut and get ahead, because he's gone for it once on both of them. Didn't work, he got the positions lost. He went for it again on Camel, couldn't get it. So now I think he might need to change his strategy and think, right, it's not going to happen that easily on track with the DRS train, so let's try again, but we'll pit earlier and try and get out ahead, because if you can pit earlier, get ahead of the train, get a bit of free air, even one lap of free air can save you a couple of seconds compared to the others ahead. And actually, looking further up, Yeltsin is very close to not being in that DRS to Cameron.
Here we go. Drake got the DRS on the curve down in towards turn 4. Do you think he's going to make a move? No. And look at Daniel. He's just getting ahead, isn't he, Richie? The gap now, what?
7/10. Yeah, he needs
7/10, yeah.
He needs to. Well, they're all in this DRS train again, but being 8/10 back puts you at more risk of losing DRS than being 3/10 back, like Cameron is on Jeremy. And Cameron keeps getting closer and closer to Jeremy, but Jeremy is also getting closer and closer to Leonard, and you can see Leonard's about 8/10, 9/10 back of the 2 Alpha Tauris. So he could be at risk of losing that DRS, because look, he's 9/10 back. It's looking really bad at the moment for Leonard in terms of keeping this DRS. Actually, what's happened, because he's gained lots of time there. And Simon's made a mistake, because look, he's a second back now of Yannick.
Yeah. He's gone wide. He's gone wide onto the grass, I think, coming out of the last corner, as well as Junção up to some of the boxes as well. So Yannick Smith now back with the fastest lap, and that is currently the championship, a 1:10.156. So he's got the fastest lap. With Drake in 8th position, he's lost the championship. So Yannick Smith is currently the F2 champion. It's a game of wits now that is starting to come out. Tycho Hardy has disconnected from the session, so he's now a ghost in 16th position. I'm sure the driver's going to love that. It's always a problem when they start ghosting as well. But nobody improved on that fastest time. So currently, Yannick Smith with 17 points. With the race victory plus fastest lap, Drake down in 8th position. He will not be the champion. Currently, it's Yannick Smith.
Well, if Yannick wins now with this fast lap, which he's got, of course, now, Drake needs to finish 5th. That's 3 positions, which is a lot. And Tycho Hardy's back, so he's sorted out whatever issues we had originally. But yeah, Drake's got a lot of work to do. And I think going from, I'd say, round 6 onwards, after he got his second victory, I think we thought it's pretty much sorted, because no one else was racing. You know, Jan and Tycho and that were taking time out to do challenges. So it was more like, yeah, he hasn't really got much of a chance. No one else got much of a chance because Drake led away. But now, I think sometimes you let that confidence go to your head, and it's allowed Yannick to come out of nowhere, get back-to-back victories, take 33 points in the past 2 races, and get right into the back of this championship battle. To relate a bit to something different, obviously Yannick was racing for Tier 2 in WOR, and he was looking for the championship with Yeltsin. They was fighting until the last race. The gap was about 18 points. Obviously, they used a normal point system, so it's 25 for a win, so-and-so. And Yannick lost out by a few points again. So now Yannick, I think he knows, I don't want to lose another championship by a few points. So I think he'll be pushing hard this time. A lot harder than before.
He wants to get through. He's pushing it now. 4/10 now, the gap to Le Mans. So it looked like Yannick maybe has eased off to assist his teammate with DRS to defend against Leonard, who's now got 7/10 behind. And Jamie's 4/10. So that's closing up in the battle. We're looking at Drake Dempsey on board. Now, Daniel Jensen has dropped behind Cameron by 7/10 of a second. But Drake is back in the DRS train. and he's got 0.6 of a second to Premac behind him. So this is going to be a good run if Drake can do it. We're riding on board with him through the boxes across the control line as we start lap number 12 of 36. He's got a DRS run. He's on 24% of the ERS. Can he go for a move into the center S? No. Ideally, out of the cover to stop. Big twitch from Camille. That's going to give Drake the opportunity he was looking for. Down the retro poster with the DRS. Is he going to go for the move? Camille's used so much of the ERS to try and keep back up, but oh my goodness, is that Aston Martin lucky, Richie? Because he twitched massively, and that gave Drake the opportunity, but he couldn't execute it.
Because I think Drake had to also lift off so he didn't hit the back of Camille. Yeah. So it was very unfortunate for the both of them there, but they both still sit where they were before, back in the, both in the DRS train, nothing much lost. It was just the opportunity for something to gain wasn't executed correctly. Looking further up still, Yannick leads ahead of Lekomsky and Leonard and Jeremy. Cameron still sits in P5, so the top 5 haven't changed at all. However, we've had a little change down below. Obviously, Daniel getting through on Camille, and then obviously, I think Milan's lost some places, hasn't he?
Yep. I think Drake's going to do a attempt at the fastest lap here. He was up in the middle sector, but it was a 10, what was it, 107? 108? He's coming up to the line. Is it quick?
No, not enough.
No, 0.2 off. He lost it in the last sector. That's a disappointment. Is he going to have another go? No, I think Drake's comfortable in 8th position at the moment. He's not going to push until the pit stops, I don't think.
It should be around, I believe, lap 18, lap 19, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've not got long to go. We've got a few laps to go. Bogdan's got a 3-second time penalty. He's only in 18th, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, the pit stops is where everything happens, and Yannick needs to get this pit strategy perfect. So does Drake. And I would not be surprised if Drake undercutted, because it would just make sense at this point to get through ahead, get a bit of clean air, or even overcook, just get some clean air ahead of some of these guys ahead. Otherwise, you're just going to lose so much time compared to Yannick and Simon, so on.
Going to be so dangerous to get the right the right idea in the head, just to not make several mistakes. And there's a lot of pressure now as Laminum gets a further 3-second time penalty. That's his second of this race. He's now on 6 as the racing comes through.
Yep, and I'm watching Jeremy yet again getting very close to the back of Goetze, but not close enough to make any overtaking. Looking further down, there's not really much going on at all. Everyone's in this DRS train first down to 17th. Bogdan's just pitted, he's got a 5-second penalty.
He's out.
And he's retired from the session in the pit lane. So unfortunately, Bogdan won't finish the final race of PSGL on this game. Which, yeah, it's definitely a big shame, of course. Modesto still stays out. Laminen's been overtaken by Lillian down at the Cedar de Largo. He's up into 13th and obviously qualified in the top 5. Had an incident lap 1, dropped all the way down to 13th. Well, I think he dropped down to about 16th, didn't he, Lillian? I mean,
Richie?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at Yannick Smith at the moment, and the gap now 4/10 to Lemonski. But Yannick has made a couple of interesting mistakes on this lap time as well, and Lemonski's backed off out of it. So they don't want to overtake each other, but I reckon Yannick's starting to struggle.
But look at that battery. 90% for Yannick, 49% for Lekomsky. Practically double battery for Yannick, so he's in a great position. Looking at batteries, actually.
Yeah, but he's making errors. That's the problem. The car is it's just making driving errors. Like there's too much oversteers to the corners. He's having to correct massively, and that's why the gap, which was, remember, what was it, 7/10? Oh, he's gone off. That's Lemonski gone wide.
Yep, down at, where's that? That's down at turn 2. He's gone off
turn
completely.
1, yeah.
He's still ahead of Drake, though, so this is unfortunate for Drake because he could have got something done there. Camille, he's going to go up the inside in towards the Cedar de Largo. Can he get ahead? I think he does.
Drake's
I think.
there.
Oh, it's Drake versus Lekomsky now. This could get interesting.
Now this is going to be feisty up, and he's going to try it. Drake's going to try and go around the outside, coming into Primera. They're going to make contact. They touch wheels. Looking, there's no wing damage. Drake's going to try and go. Look at Lemonski defending hard into turn 8 as they come down through the oranges corner as well. Are we going to see an attack from Drake? He needs to get ahead of Lemonski, but look at that. Leonard's now in 2nd position. Can he help his teammate to a title charge? A small little mistake there for Lemonski. I was saying about Yannick Smith having made the mistakes, and then all of a sudden Lemonski makes the biggest error of the race.
Oh, Jeremy, he's sitting in 3rd now, so this is going great for him, isn't it, this race?
Yeah, up it. And look at Cameron back and forth. We're going to fight for the podium.
Of course,
so can Drake, with the DRS, do anything into turn 4 at Casino de Larga? It's not good. He's going to have to tee it up. Into the pit lane comes Laminem. Well, that's with all those penalties, it's not really going to matter. Drake gets such a good exit, but is it enough down the straight? He's only got 24% ERS. I think Laminem, as we were talking about, he's only down to 25 now, Richie. He's used the same amount. He was on 40. He's used it all to benefit, to sort of make sure he doesn't lose out too much from that little mistake on the previous lap.
Yeah, and going back to Jeremy, he's scored points once in this season, round 4, 3 points. So a P3 would be marvellous, of course.
That's a surprise of
but
Jeremy,
it was close
actually.
to
Yeah.
It was close to what we saw with Sabrina, though. Obviously taking no podiums at all in this season. Was looking for a P2 in Saudi, but had an incident. I believe it was Yannick Schmidt. So it seems every time someone goes for a...
No! Leonard's wide, sorry, Leonard's gone wide. He had a big snap coming through McCullough, and now into Junkao. Jeremy's all over the back of him, so Jeremy's going to go on the attack. And what is it with P2 making a mistake in this game? Yannick Schmidt is literally having the doors open for him with a big sign saying, "Welcome, champion!" round the outside. And look at Cameron, 3 wide into turn 1. And there's contact, and then round goes Jeremy. And that was caused with Cameron on the inside, Leonard being squeezed, and on the outside was Jeremy. It's not paid off at turn 1.
I did it again. Do you know what I said? I said it's like what we saw with Sergio in Saudi. Oh no.
Both of the both of the Alfa Romeos having a horrible race. Jeremy down to 14th. Villacampa and Humphreys pits for medium compound tyres. So now Cameron's up to P2, but you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going to have a big steward's inquiry about that post-race.
Possible, but we'll have to see. It's an interesting one. But now Yannick leads 1.4 seconds. No DRS for Cameron. DRS for everyone else behind.
7th.
Yeah.
Drake is up to 7th now with the title permutations. Yannick Smith has the fastest lap, and he has the race victory. So with Drake in 7th, what does the title permutation show, Richie?
If Yannick's got the fastest lap, he's got it.
Even if Drake is in 7th?
If Drake is in 7th, because Drake needs to finish 6th without the fastest lap.
So it's tantalisingly close now. So he needs to get ahead of the Monsky basically to even remain. We're halfway in the Brazilian Grand Prix for the final race.
My bad. He needs to finish 6th with the fastest lap or 5th without.
So at the moment he's still not champion.
No, at the moment. But then again, just say now, someone on the mediums that's just gone out takes fastest lap, it ruins it for Yannick and he loses it. Then it's got to be 7th. With the fastest lap, 6th without.
Bogdan said, can't take it with this game anymore. Game crashed in quali, so I had only 3 stints. And then in the race, I had no HUD, so I did not know my warnings. And my FFB was off. Smiley face, XD.
Bogdan, I don't know if you remember, but we are on a new game in a month's time. So
yeah,
you don't need to worry too much. You'll be back with us in a month. Well,
delete the game, get some storage on your PC, and get ready for F1 23.
Jeremy, looking for a move on Tiger Hardy. He's made a mistake because he's now 3.5 seconds back off of Legend Rosenberg. What's happened? Here we go now. Down in towards turn 1, and Drake's pitted.
Yeah, Jedson, Dempsey, and Mayer all into the pit lane, so they've gone a lap early to take over for medium compound tyres.
Let me go through. I'm just watching Tycho. He's going to get DRS now going out to turn 2, and I think Jeremy had a better enough exit for Tycho not to really do much about it. We'll see. As we head down in towards turn 4, actually, it might just... Is it enough for Tycho? I don't think it will be now. So Jeremy gets into provisional 9th and keeps ahead.
Jack Humphreys, 109.395, fastest lap of the race. Yannick doesn't have the fastest lap. Drake's now on new tyres. Now we get to see, this is going to be the most pressuring 18 laps of both of these drivers' esports careers. Can they get up there to take the F2 PSG title? I don't know. This is going to be amazing.
It will. It will. And Tycho still trying to get through on Jeremy, so this will be another battle we see down at turn 1 again. But Drake... We've got to see what he can do because he's now 1.5 seconds back off Yeltsin. Spin.
Is Yannick boxing? He is! But yeah, Yannick's boxing. Was that Modesto Mena? Yeah. Oh, and Lamina with a 10-second time penalty. For corner cutting. Into the pit lane, though, comes our race leader. Also in Cameron Downs and Leonard Goetze. So, Yannick will pit to medium compound tyres. Where is Drake Dempsey? Oh, he got held in the pit lane. He got held in the pit lane with cars going past. This is it. Now, can Drake Dempsey, we're watching him now. Can he get out with a better exit? Coming, look, there they are at the exit of the pit lane. Push. Is Drake ahead at the exit of the pit lane? Looking. No.
No, he's not. No. Oh, actually, his teammates let him through. Leonard Gertz had let him through.
Beautiful.
So team orders there down at Red Bull. So this could be a bigger opportunity for Drake.
So the overcut has worked. Yannick's up into 8th position, but I think he's in a fierce battle at the moment. Trying to take a look at it. No, the timing tower hasn't synced up for me. So Yannick is in 8th, Jensen's in 9th, Downs is in 10th, with Dempsey in 11th. Now, at the moment, Drake will be the champion.
Yeah.
But this is now going to be into the pit lane comes Kamil. Lumonski's in. And into the lead goes Harlem Marquez. They're all into the pit lane.
Yeah, apart from Legend and Harlem, everyone else now pitting. Jeremy, is he going to pit? No, he's not. And Tycho isn't either. So the top 4. So Harlem, Legend, Jeremy staying out, and Tycho. Kamil, Simeon, and Przemek are pitting. Now, where do they come out compared to the likes of Drake, Dempsey, and the others as we come through? Przemek's going to drop behind.
Yeah, Yannick's going to P5.
This might work for Drake actually now. As we come
Drake's
through.
coming.
Lecompsy's going to come out behind. Camil's going to come out behind Drake as well. I think this has worked heavily for Drake Dempsey. And it has.
He's avoiding the traffic.
And now
So
Drake's
he
in
has avoided it all.
provisional P4 for Drake.
And he's got the championship.
So
Brilliant.
he will have it.
So,
He will have it at this point, yeah.
He needed to be inside the top 4. So at the moment, Drake's got it back. Some
Lillian
good
and Milan.
strategy, but it's coming close.
Yep, they're going with side by side going in towards turn 6, not into turn 7. Lillian's going to try and take the outside line. Can't make anything work just yet. Milan still on the back of Lecompsky. Lecompsky's lost out there. Who's that round? That's one of the Ferraris. That is Oscar Villecampa. Yeah, Villecampa down at turn 8. As we come through, so yeah, at the moment it is the championship for Drake Dempsey. He's ahead by enough. Harlem, Legend, Jeremy and Tycho will all pit as well.
Is Jeremy and Tycho coming in? They're leaving it a little bit late. I think Jeremy's going to take the lead here. Yep, Jeremy's taking the lead. And Tycho Hardy's gone through too. So Jeremy leads. He's going to go 1 lap longer than everybody else. It's kind of what we were thinking. But it's going to make a mess of the timing screen. So Yannick is 3rd. Well, net lead. Jensen 2nd, Cameron 3rd, Drake 4th. Yeah, so Drake now, with everyone filtering with the pit stops, as you say, does have it. All we need now, though, is if there's a safety car, then later on in the race, it could change again if people want to pit. I would personally stay. I'd stay on the tyres.
But the thing is, Drake's got the oldest tyres of many people on the grid, so that could cause issues near the end of the race compared to Camille and Leonard. So, all can change, but at the moment it's going pretty well for Drake. Big shame for Yannick. Obviously, he hasn't got the fastest lap at the moment because I believe that was taken by Jack Humphries, wasn't it? I think you said.
Yes. Yeah, and he's down in 15th position at the moment. So let me just take a quick look at the best lap times, actually, via this for you. And take a look. So best lap times at the moment. I'm trying to get a hold of it. I need to go from interval to fastest lap. Yep, so it's Jack Humphries with a 109.104. So he's down in 15th position. Yannick's mixed time on the last lap as he crosses the line was a 109.387. Drake's a 109.120. So anyway, Drake's going faster as into the pit lane comes Jeremy.
Yeah, and Jeremy's going to come out 15th position. Big shame for Jeremy. He was looking for a podium at one point, but unfortunately all ended after a collision with, I believe it was Cameron and, was it Daniel Kjeldsen?
Yeah, further back.
So
Jeremy's gone right back.
To be fair, Lillian, hats off, he's up into 10th at the moment, so he's managed to make the undercut work heavily. He's 3/10 back off Milan. Milan's got to get himself back into the DRS train fully of Seaman. The gap's, what, 8/10? He needs to at least get that to 7 or 6 to be safe, and Hubac has a penalty.
Oh, dear. 3 seconds, multiple warnings. One thing we're going to be keeping an eye on, though, is Camille Sartre, who's in 6th position, who is closing on Drake Dempsey. Drake can't afford to lean back and just accept 4th for the championship. He's going to have to fight for this because there's guys behind him want to get through as well. This is not going to be a simple run to the checkered flag as we start lap 25 of 36. 11 to go.
Yeah, so it could all get interesting with 11 laps. Daniel sitting in provisional 2nd. That's worked out for him with that overcut. So it's looking with the undercut. Sorry, it's looking great for Yeltsin. Obviously, was sitting in 5th and 6th, wasn't he, with Dempsey and Camel? But seems that one lap earlier pit stop has helped because he got ahead of Cameron. And Daniel's actually gaining on Yannick. This could be actually, you say this now, but if Daniel if Daniel overtakes Yannick, then Yannick can't win. And we saw these two, Yannick and Daniel, fighting for the championship in WOR. So they've met together before, very clean together. So we've not had many incidents from them. But the last thing Yannick wants is his previous rival to overtake him.
Harlan Marquez with a 3-second time penalty then for multiple warnings with track limits, and it needs to take each other off. Cameron Downs, just like it did in round 1 in Spain, will take the victory. So there's an awful lot still in the play here. But now with the DRS, let's see if Daniel Jensen's got anything on these medium compound tyres on Yannick Smith as they come up towards the line. Remember, it'll be turn 4, an opportunity to overtake. He's got a lot of VRS at 50% as well, so he hasn't used it coming here. He's saving it. 97 though, and now 100 for Yannick Smith, so he hasn't needed to use any of it. And Daniel's only on 52.
Yeah, Yannick's not bothering to use any at the moment. Drake's on 27. Over an incident. That's out. Yeah, in the pit lane. Cameron's on 40, Drake 25, Camel 22, 73 for Leonard. So many drivers on various different battery percentage.
Yeah.
And yeah,
well, this is
with the camper's car going to come at the pit lane to go onto track, just to park up. And the Comskate got a bit wide. He's going for a move on Goetze, but unfortunately went a bit too wide there going into turn 8. And lost a little bit of time.
Out too. Yep, another one retired in the pit lane. So we're down to 16 running in this race. 3 retired. But there's a big title fight going on. Now, when is Tycho Hardy going to come into the pit lane? 24 laps of those hard compound tyres. Prediction, he's going to take a set of softs to the end of the race around about lap 27 of the race. So maybe 2 more laps and take some softs.
Yeah, they've been on pointed taking mediums now, surely, would they?
Yeah. Oh, hello. Further behind, that's Premack making a move for 10th position on Milan Mayer. And now Milan Mayer's coming right back at him. So the move that was telegraphed a few laps ago hasn't worked out as they switch over once again. Premack gets the inside line on the run down towards Casino de Laga into turn 4. And he's got him ahead. So Premack up into 10th position.
Yeah, very nice there from Przemek. Obviously, was trying for a move on Milan down here now where they are before, but couldn't get anything. But obviously, he went for the move. It seemed to backfire a little bit, didn't it, going through turn 2, but then got it back in the DRS. So very nicely executed there from Przemek. Leonard, under more and more pressure constantly from Lekomsky. There's been many times recently where Lekomsky's got right to the back, if not tried to make a move. So Leonard's got to be still trying to fight for something. Surely hasn't he?
Modesto's out. Yeah, Modesto's out too, down to 15.
Big shame.
Everyone retiring in the pits.
Yep. Which is a good thing. We get no safety cars. And Drake gets through on Cameron Dowds.
Oh.
This is for P3. Oh, and Camel Staturer also. Big mistake for Cameron somewhere along the track. And everyone getting involved now. Leonard Goetze, Simon Lekomsky, all going in towards turn 1. That's Leonard Goetze ahead of Cameron Dowds. Also, big incident there. That's Leonard off the track. Leonard's been spun round. Cameron up into 7th, ahead of Lekomsky just ahead. And Leonard Goetze now all the way down to 14th place. And the grid changing constantly now.
Yeah, but that now confirms one thing. Drake's in P3 in the net. Oh, no, he's not! No, he's not! Drake's up into P2! Yannick Smith has been taken out as they 2 make contact! Yannick Smith is out of the race, hitting Daniel Jensen, and Drake Dempsey leads here in Sao Paulo and is the champion already! Regardless, there's no way Yannick can fight back! Drake Dempsey is the champion in PSGL PCF2.
Now, what happened?
Just went round.
No, I mean, like, in general, everything. Cameron made a massive mistake. Everyone ate him into turn 1. Then Cameron sent Leonard wide. Leonard went round. Then Yeltsin and Yannick had a battle. I jinxed it by saying they're always clean. Obviously not, because one of them's ran, the other one's now down to provisional 5th. And Drake now takes the lead of the race. And at one point we're saying Drake's going to have an issue because he was starting P7. Przemek also had an issue.
Yeah, he's chopped off at turn 1. He's allowed Legend and Milan through. And now he's going to let Harlan Marquez through as well. But Drake Dempsey, all he has to do now for the remaining 8 laps is control the race, and he is the PSGL PCF2 champion. There's nothing Yannick Smith can do. He's outside of the points. Drake will pick up big bucks. Unless he crashes out, he's the champion already.
Even if he crashes out, Yannick's still going to get back to P2.
Yeah.
So
it's not happening.
It's more or less over at this point. It's not for definite, but the chances are probably higher of me winning the lottery tomorrow.
I could do with some millions.
And Drake's also in the DRS of Tycho Hardy, so he's going to get a little bit of a pull along down in towards turn 1. And does Tycho choose to pit yet, or is he always going to stay out? So Tycho wants to cause a bit of havoc, because all these cars are going to be miles faster as they go through. And actually, Tycho's still going to fight it. It's only into turn 1, but can't do too much about it. Camel's going to be able looking to start to gain as well, because they've gained heavily on the back, and Yannick Schmidt's got a penalty, and he's out! He's out of the race!
It's over! That's it! Dempsey leads, Yannick's retired!
Tycho Hardy in towards turn 4, sends it, Drake has to send it back, and Tycho still going to fight for this potential P1. We go around now, in towards turn 6 and 7. Tycho, nearly hit the back of Drake there.
It doesn't matter if Drake retires now. He's the champion, regardless. You are watching your new PSGL PCF2 champion of Drake Dempsey in a battle for the lead. There's Camille Sancho on the side of Tycho.
They make a bit of contact. Kemmel was on the grass at one point. Tycho Hardy's been also overtaken by Lukomsky as well. Down at turn 8 and 9. Cameron up the inside into John Say. Can he get through? He's going to try. Tycho's going to try and fight him back though. Tycho on these tyres doing a superb job so far as they come through. And there we are. It's Cameron through. Now Yelton's turn to get through.
Unbelievable. Not the way you want to end a championship, but look at that. Lemonski's going to come on Camille Satra 2 towards turn 1. Can't go for it. And now Tycho is really just out there to cause havoc. He's now holding up his teammate, Daniel Jensen, too. There's going to be a lot of post-race penalties. I can tell you that right now. Be sure to join the Discord to get all the notifications and stay tuned to the PSGL Twitter account as well. As up the inside goes Daniel Jensen and his teammate on much older tyres. And now...
Josh, you've gone. Josh? Well, Josh has disappeared. We'll go back. Lillian looking also for an overtake on Tycho Hardy down at the inside at turn 9.
I'm back.
And you're back. Welcome back.
How much that cut off? I was saying some brilliant commentary. It just cuts me off.
Leonard goes with the 3-second time penalty also. Lillian still trying to fight hard with Tycho. Tycho hit the back of the Aston Martin, but nothing too harmful. Legend Rosenberg now up the inside of Tycho Hardy. Also, Miller May going to be looking for an opportunity to overtake as well. Into John Sow. Sits back for now. Wants to get it onto DRS. And he nearly has a bit of a spin, does there, Miller Mayer. And again, coming out of turn 12. And at the moment, Drake's actually nearly breaking the DRS to Camel. He's broke it because Camel hasn't got DRS. So Lukomsky, who was off the track 15 laps ago, is now looking to try and take P2 again.
Well, this is getting fantastic at the front. Lap 31 of 36 as well. Can Lemonski get anything back? Am I on the right microphone, by the way?
Yes.
No, good. Nothing else turned off. So, coming through, 31 of 36. We've already crowned our champion in the most dramatic PSGL way. There's only one way that could go, eh, Richie? It had to end like that.
Of course, and yep, it's part of the PSGL action, isn't it? And I still really want to know what happened between Yeltsin and Yannick. I'm very, very intrigued to know.
I'm looking in the F2 General.
Oh, good idea.
Well, Yannick says, at Daniel Jensen, no comment. Great GG at Drake Dempsey. And at Daniel Jensen, you've done great work. That was what Yannick says. Oh, dear. Respect to Yannick, though, for saying GGs to Drake Dempsey, but I think Daniel Jensen's going to be off the Christmas card list once again this season. As we see, Lemonski trying to go for second position round the outside of Camille Sancho and gets it before the center S.
Yeah, very nice there. And also that's Harlan fighting with Tycho. Tycho now dropping all the way down. Positions will have to pit on the final lap, otherwise he'll be disqualified. Leonard Gertz to pit. Is he going to be out the session? I think he probably will, unless he goes for soft tyres to try and take the fastest lap.
I'll tell you what, Yannick, I know you're in the YouTube chat, I can see it. My heart goes out to you. That's not the way you want to lose a title, but a fantastic dominant race. You should be proud of that. That was domination in a champion's drive. Absolutely respects to you for that and the entire season battle as well. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It's spectacular. You know, he was looking for back-to-back wins, 3 back-to-back wins. So, big shame. Would be nice to know actually after. I'll see if I can speak to Yeltsin to figure out what happened, because it would be nice to know. Because that has intrigued me how people end up round there. Because
I think Benson must have been on the inside, and we had Yannick round the outside, and they've just come together in that part of the track. So it looked to me like it was on the inside and Yannick was on the outside, so Yannick must have got taken out on the outside line.
Jeremy,
going through turn 4. Or is it late dive bomb?
Oh, we've got loads of us coming down here. Look for P10 on Tygo Hardy. We've got Jack Humphrey's going to be first to try and make an overtake. Can also Harlan Marquis try and make something work as well into turn 1. I don't think he can. No, he can't.
Got it.
Jack's got it. Oh! And Tycho gets hit by Harlem into turn 1 there. Also, Jeremy running the back of Harlem. This is all getting feisty now. Harlem's got the inside line. No, he doesn't stay out. And there we are, Harlem getting through. Jeremy, can he also try and get through? Actually, going to fight still, side by side. Jeremy's going to get through. Tycho goes wide.
Oh, there we go.
Jeremy, though, is still going to score points. He'll finish P9 because of penalties.
That's true. Yep. So
up the inside from Jeremy on Harlem. Beautiful. Absolute great attempt of a manoeuvre there. Does it work out though? Because Harlem is going to fight it back up the inside now down at turn 9. Can he try and get, because then you switch back because now Jeremy's got the inside line. So it's all switching around.
Harlem is going to have the inside line coming into McCullough and Juncal though, Richie.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. I think Harlem might just about have it, and he does. So great fighting back there. Lillian's had an...
Yellow.
Oh, Lillian's round!
Lillian! No,
final turn.
That's your fault.
Wow, turn 12.
You were just saying it around.
Yeah, well, he's not going to score points, unfortunately. He was, but he's not. And now Jeremy with the DRS. No DRS for Harlem. Round the outside to someone. Can Harlem fight back? I don't think he can. And Jeremy up into provisional P10. And Cameron Downs for Miss Stasherer.
So they're all going now at the front battle. Cameron's going to try for 3rd position right round the outside. And Casino Delaga, a fantastic move there from the season winner, opener. And that is brilliant from Cameron. Camille's going to try and come back on the inside. It's not going to work. I think Lillian's into pit lane for new tyres, maybe to retire. It just looks like tyres at the moment. But Cameron's up to P3. Fabulous. A podium to end it as well. Will surely make an okay, good season from Cameron Downs.
And I definitely don't think the top 3, my prediction, would have been Drake Dempsey winning, Lukomsky in 2nd and Cameron Downs in 3rd. That wasn't what I presumed. But
started 7th.
It's, well, true, and it's going there at the moment. Camel also could still be in that hunt for the podium from Dowds. Lukomsky can also still be in the hunt for the win. Doesn't matter, though, because Drake still wins the championship by 24. If he finishes 1st, he wins by 28 points. Finishes 2nd, he wins by 24.
Oh, wow! Dive bomb and a half from Daniel Jensen on the Aston, and he's made the move.
Camel out! He's hit the wall. I think Daniel was going for a switchback, hit the back of Camel, pushed him into the wall. Camel Sashara, not hunting for a podium. He's now DNF'd out the race. Daniel Yeltsin now back up into P4 after having an incident. This is just getting crazy by the minute. Jeremy now back in the points.
Daniel Jensen's becoming a one and only wrecking ball out there as well. He doesn't need Miley Cyrus's help to break down walls. He's doing it himself with that Haskell.
Well, controversial take of my own. He's definitely taken in Max Verstappen's tracks. And I'm a Max fan, so it says something. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying it's Daniel's fault, but it just seems chaos seems to occur when he's around today, especially.
Seems to be. Well then, we're coming up to the final lap, but look at this. Lemonsky's coming so close to Drake. There's half a second there, but I don't think it'll turn into anything though. It's the final lap of PSGL PC F2 Season 33 and the final lap on F1 22. There you are looking at your new champion, Drake Dempsey, who has taken it from the mid-season battle onwards to the end, fought hard with 2 back-to-backs and Yannick Smits to make this title decider possible. They've both raced their absolute hardest. Yannick was leading for the majority of the race before getting taken out. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He was absolutely perfect as Leonard Gertz has retired as well. Yannick, like Drake, deserved the title, but it could only go one way, and Drake Dempsey has taken it to the USA. Richie, to you.
So Drake now, obviously, speaking to him in round 4. Do you have a chance to win the championship? No, I do not. I don't think I do, but now he comes through into John Say for the final time on F1 22 at PCF2 as he comes up towards the line. No matter what Simon Lecompsey can do, Drake Dempsey will come up to the line very shortly to win the championship in PCF2. He's won in F3, but now he wins in F2. Absolutely phenomenal from Drake Dempsey.
Drake Dempsey is the PSGL PCF2 champion of season 33. He takes the last title on F1's 2022 game cycle. It's been a season-long battle, but it's gone Red Bull's way, and a first title since F3. Boy, oh boy, has Drake Dempsey had to work for in F2. A fantastic charge. Lemonski's second. Cameron Downs rounds out the podium. So in third place. Start of the season with victory, ends it with the podium after all his troubles. A great end to the year. Then we get Daniel Jensen and Milan May in the top 5.
But Josh, that was something to round it off with, wasn't it? Absolute
Brilliant.
chaos and battling everything all the way through. And yeah, it changed. At one point, we're saying Drake's not going to win it. Then all of a sudden, he's going to win it easily. So hats off to Drake, of course, and GG's to Yannick and also Camel, who was looking for fighting it at one point, and Cameron also at the start of the season was a championship contender. Unfortunately, that didn't stick throughout, but he's finished third today, final race for a final podium in F1 22, and Lekomsky also dropped down to 7th at one point, back up to 2nd, but absolute chaos. And also for TF10 themselves, big flex factor, 1-2 in F2.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice now if we can get the champion himself in here.
Being attacked by a moth.
And we've got Cameron and we've got Drake.
Here we go.
So drag him
Ready?
in if you can, Josh.
Drake Dempsey, you are the champion!
Yeah, thank you. That was a hell of a race.
Hell of a season as well. I mean, are you really, you sort of knew it was possible, but then we had a surprise with Yannick Smith coming in, doing 2 races as well, back to back. He got himself into that title contention. At one point in the day, it looked like you'd lost it. Was it nerve-wracking in the car? How did you find it? Because then you got the race lead in one of the most awful ways for a championship to finish as well. But just talk us through the emotions of that race.
Yeah, I mean, it was a roller coaster, that's for sure. I thought I had a good start, and then I tried to go into a gap that wasn't there, so I had to back out. But it was all fair, racing and stuff, but I lost out, and then just trying to not take too many risks, because it was mine to lose. In the end, it was both of ours to lose. But, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I did not expect to win, much less finish in, like, the podium position. So, I mean, it's a surprise, that's for sure. I mean, wasn't really too happy with the P8 qualifying, considering I had to get, like, top 5 or something. But I knew it was possible. So I just tried to put my mind to it and just try to pick up what I can along the way.
So
Richard?
obviously going into this round, obviously Yannick took pole. You were starting 7th or 8th, and at one point it was going Yannick's way. Was you worried at any point or a bit nervous?
Oh yeah, the entire time.
And then just tell us truthfully, what were your thoughts when Yannick retired?
Not really much of a surprise after he got into the incident with Daniel. It was unfortunate, and that's not the way that should have ended. But I mean, I can't really. That's not my. I can't really control what happens in front of me. 99% of the time. But
I suppose also it's a bit of.
What happened, and can't really change that. But it was a hell of a season, that's for sure.
I think it would have definitely been a very close battle to the end if, unfortunately, what happened for Yannick didn't happen. But you can't control, as you just said. So, yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is. You took the championship, so that's a great thing to take away. But first of all, well done. You've won in F3, you've won in F2. I suppose there's only one place else you can win, which is F1. Which obviously we said before. You said it's not going to happen, but well,
you never know.
it's the next goal. It's the next goal. It's the only other goal you have now, isn't it? Really, in PSGL itself.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Are you going to go for it? You're going to go to F1? You get the option as a champion to get promoted.
New game, you don't.
New game.
Oh,
Same happened with Bogdan. The same happened to Bogdan from 21 to 22.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Connor, I know you're watching. This man, he needs to go. He needs to go up into F1. Don't care we don't get a commentator on him. He needs to go. There's another man we're going to talk to in a minute who deserves a seat there too. Drake, any closing words on your season as well? You're our new champion. You've got anything to say?
Goodbye F122. That's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna miss you.
No final word. Thank you, Drake. Have a great
good.
have a great off season. Get
You will.
testing as soon as the game comes out for F1 23, and
Yeah,
hopefully see you next year.
Yep.
Next we have.
And Cameron.
Yeah, hello.
So, pretty decent race. What happened at turn 1?
Well, going into turn 1, I was almost 3 wide, and then I don't really think I was involved in it. The guy beside me rear-ended him, and then well, I don't know if he turned in too early or not, but I don't know if I was really involved, but he just rear-ended him, and then I got through on both of them.
Wait.
But,
Because from what are you want to say about something else? Because from what I saw, well, the one I'm on about was when you went up the inside and took one out. I think it was, and I think it was Daniel. Josh, is that just me, or do you remember as well?
No, the 3-1 with Cameron on the outside getting clipped. Yeah.
Jeremy, was it? Yeah, Jeremy, Daniel, and you. I think it was.
Yeah, I think I can't completely remember, but I don't know if it was my fault or not. I think he ended up rear-ending him, but I think I had something to do with it as well. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Obviously, talking about the race, obviously P3, great way to finish the game off, and I presume you, along with many others, are excited to be off this game. Yeah,
very.
Of course. Next game, any you hyped up for it, or you not got many expectations?
I hope to do better on next game. This season started off really well, but I lagged out in 2 of the races, and then in a few of them I've just got a bit unlucky and then not performed. So hopefully I can do better next season. I think I had a good chance of winning it tonight, but I lagged out for a few seconds, and it was my Epic Games launch opened, and I had to pause it, so I fell into like 7th or 8th.
But
yeah.
Obviously, in the next game, they've changed things to make the cars apparently a bit better at turning. So with a bit more oversteer. Also with the throttle, that's meant to be better. Is that something you're looking forward to, or not something that you're really bothered about?
I'd rather oversteer than understeer. So yeah.
So that's a good thing then, isn't it? And better traction as well. I think that helps everyone. So you think you can get quicker next game?
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to take away. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Anything from you, Josh, quickly?
An amazing season as well, with everything that happened mid-season for you as well. Mega proud as well. And everybody I've spoken to in PSGL and across the series are definitely saying that you're a star of the future, Cameron. So mega proud for this season as well. Absolutely brilliant job.
Yep, cheers.
Have a good off-season. I'll throw it back to you, Richie.
Well, thanks for joining us, Cameron, and we'll see you in F1 23, hopefully. That's weird, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
We'll see them in the next game, but...
I've just noticed I'm on a new updated version of OBS, and when you zoom in to click things, you can no longer drag the screen around where you want it. It's stuck up and down. You can't go side to side when you zoom in, so that's really annoying.
Going to get our cameras on quickly, because this is the final time that we'll be seeing here on this game, which for me is great. Absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to get onto the new game, and obviously we've still got CTC in that, but I can't wait to just click uninstall on this game. Cannot wait for that moment. Because this has been the most unmotivating game ever. I've never, obviously, I did commentary on, I'd say, about 4 or 5 months on the last game. The motivation I had there is probably triple of what I've had this game throughout the whole cycle, because it's just issue after issue, isn't it? One week after another,
constantly.
And it comes to something when you're in F2. It's the top second tier of PSGL, second tier, the biggest tournament on the game apart from F1 Esports. And you're getting 11 drivers turn up. You can't blame them, because I can't. I would probably think about not turning up myself, because the game's that bad. Issues. Unpredictability in the car. The traction's absolutely terrible. The cars are literal yachts. It's not good at all. The next game, we saw the gameplay feature thing earlier, the trailer, and it looked pretty decent. Last game when I watched the trailer, I thought, right, this looks bad. This looks bad. This looks bad. Going into this one, I thought, I was trying to find something to say that's not good, because obviously you've got the laser scan tracks at Qatar and Las Vegas,
On release, yeah.
which is on release as well. New traction, new handling, new rotation. They've changed something to do with the bottom of the floor, so you can run over curbs easier. They've got a new setup system. I think it's like something like suspension's like 1 to 50 or something like that. I can't remember. And ride height's changed as well. I think there's many changes with the setup, so absolutely everything's gonna change. And when it comes to bigger range of setup, it means it can be more specified towards a person itself. So we can see better. You can see bigger differences in setups. Tyre wear, apparently they've changed something to do with tyre models and something how the tyres work with wear, and I don't know because I'm not a game technician, but it just seems very positive. And it's the first time, I think everyone was hyped up for F2022, but I've saw more people like on Twitter and on the on the internet saying about how they're hyped up for this game. I think the evidence that it could be better is there. Last game it was more hoping. This game, we've seen what the differences are. We've just got to wait for them to come into full effect.
We do, and I think we're going to have a much better experience on the new game coming in. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and other drivers are looking forward to getting rid of this game as well. And I'm looking forward to deleting it myself and just putting it on something that's in the background of my Steam account. But I am looking forward to Season 34 on F1 2023, round 1 of the season. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We haven't got a calendar yet because we don't know where we're going to be. I think they're planning what we're going to do with the season, and they're planning calendars of what's in the game as well. But I've got no information. You've got no information. So stay tuned to the PSGL Twitter account and join the Discord for all our news about where we're going to be. The only thing me and Richie can say for certain is, unlike in previous seasons when we've been in F4 one and then F3 in another, and then now F2 for this previous season, we will be here in F2. Unless George and Jack decide they don't want to do it anymore, then we'll probably go up.
Or unless Jess decides to be mean to us and move us down.
Yeah, that could be it as well. But yeah, so it looks like we're going to be staying in F2, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the F2 talent coming through, Richie. And I know you are. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this season. I'd like to thank all the drivers for taking part and giving us some fantastic Thursday evenings of action. And I'd like to thank Connor and Jess as well, and the entire team at PSGL. And the biggest thank you must go to you, Richie, for putting up with me in the commentary box as well, from cutting you off every 5 seconds so I can see something and shout about it. So thank you, and thank you all as well. It's been a hell of a season.
Last thing from me. Thanks, Josh, of course. Being here alongside every single week, apart from a couple. I
had COVID on one, didn't I? Yeah, the one race I missed of this game cycle was Austria, thanks to COVID all those weeks back.
But obviously, it's been nice to have you alongside near enough every race we've done. I think, was it something like
All
we've
but
done
one.
33 races consistent
Yeah.
apart from one race?
Yeah.
I think we did
So we don't count
29 races in a row. See, I think it was round 9, season 31. And the first round we missed together was Austria, wasn't it?
Austria, early on this year, because I had COVID, so.
Yeah. Thanks, of course, for joining me. And yes, on my personal note, thanks, Jess and Connor, for giving me the opportunity. It means a lot, of course. And thanks to everyone in the chat. And of course, Josh, like we said this season, thank you, Cameron's dad.
Oh,
Of
yes. I think he
course.
deserves a special throw-out mention, yeah.
And finally, as last season, thank you to my granddad for tuning in near enough every week. I've got to mention it again. I mentioned it last season.
You've
I've got to
got
mention
to.
it again. But I think that's it, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, I just one final question for you, Richie. What was your favourite race of the season?
That's a hard one, to be fair. Hang on, let's have a little look back at the standings so I can see the tracks, because I forgot where we've been. I've done 4 leagues in the past, 10 weeks. I need to figure out where we've been. But I think, looking
I'm
at
gonna
this,
say-
France. I forgot France. With the 11-car
Yeah.
battle. France, easily, yeah.
I'm going to go with you there. That was mine. The French Grand Prix with, 5 laps of absolute chaos was top tier PSGL
And then,
action.
favourite race of the game, Belgium, season 32.
Yeah,
I don't-
that was epic, that race.
It was. But I think that's it. Stop here just waffling on. We'll be back in a couple of months' time, I believe. I don't know when it starts, but I presume season 34,
Right.
maybe mid-July, start mid-July.
Yeah.
Depends when it's all sorted out, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see you in around 2 months' time, hopefully. Thank you yet again, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you then. So have a good week, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.